I want to go to Kerry Picket, senior reporter with the Washington Times, on this latest with information coming out earlier today that the FBI director has said that he will come to Capitol Hill, or at least the documents that are being requested. That document will be on Capitol Hill on Monday for both the Chairman Comer and the ranking member to review this. That's Jamie Raskin from Maryland. Those two will be able to look at the document on Monday. So we just lost our reporter. We're going to try to get her back on, Kerry Picket with the Washington Times. But this is all right, here we go. Kerry, welcome to Washington Watch. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
All right, so explain what has taken place here.
Okay, well, there's been a real back and forth for about almost 30 days now between the House Oversight Committee and the FBI, starting when the House Oversight Committee subpoenaed what is known as a unclassified 1023 form that had alleged that then Vice President Joe Biden, obviously now President Biden, had engaged in a criminal bribery scheme with a foreign national having to do with some business. We don't know what that business is. Of course, this is just alleged. But they simply wanted to get hold of this particular document that the FBI did not want to release. Now, finally, you had the FBI said to Mr. Comer, as well as Mr. Grassley, that okay, look, we're going to we're going to come to Capitol Hill. We're going to allow Mr. Comer and Mr. Raskin, who is the ranking member, as you mentioned, to look at this document in a skiff in this.
Well, let me ask you about that. Let me ask you about that, Kerry, because this is an unclassified document. I mean, this is not a classified document. So why do they have to? Why so much? Security around this? They're going to have to look at it in a skiff, and only the two top members of the committee can look at it.
Well, the FBI claims that they are trying to protect the confidentiality and safety of sources and important investigative sensitivities, quote unquote. I was talking to one of my FBI sources about that, and keep in mind that Mr. Comer found out about this particular 1023 form through Mr. Grassley, who himself found out about it through a whistleblower, through a tip. I mean, they didn't even know that this particular form existed. And the FBI, according to the Republican lawmakers, apparently said, "Oh, we don't even know this form even existed. Like, what are you talking about?" And then they actually confirmed this past week, oh yeah, it actually does exist. And that in and of itself was apparently a big victory. But now they're saying that, oh, well, it's going to be like this could possibly hurt national security. It could hurt confidential sources. But ultimately, you had the FBI who are saying, look, documenting the information does not validate it. Well, once again, according to a number of my FBI sources, they're saying, look, when you have a source talk to us on the record and we have to put it down on a 1023, we have to vet it. And if this person's lying to us, that means they're going to get into really big trouble.
Well, that's a federal offense, lying to an FBI agent. We've seen people go to jail for that.
Absolutely. So for Director Wray to make it seem like, oh, this is just something that's completely uncorroborated. And the interesting thing here is this is right after the Durham report came out, and a lot of Wray's defenders and a lot of Democrats were sort of blowing it off like, oh, that is just complete fiction. And there was the Durham report, completely saying, well, look, the dossier was a complete fiction. Right. And they were there blowing that off. So it's a little bit ironic now that here is Wray sort of blowing off this particular file.
So, Kerry, we just got about a minute left. So what could come from this after reviewing this document on Monday? What could Chairman Comer do?
Well, he is likely going to want to bring in a number of other Republican lawmakers, and he's going to say, look, it's not just going to be me and Ranking Member Raskin who are going to want to see this. I'm going to want to bring in other Republican lawmakers, and I'm going to want to likely put this out to the public. This is just nonsense that I'm the only one who can look at this, and,
Right.
and Representative Comer. And here's the interesting thing, too, is that they're trying to keep this particular document in a tiny little box, yet all these leaks about the Trump investigation that Special Counsel Jack Smith is leaking.
Yeah.
All over the place, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think one of the questions that needs to be asked, what was done with this information when you had it? What did the FBI do with that? And I'm sure that's where Chairman Comer is going to go with this. Kerry Picket, thanks so much for taking time to join us on this Friday afternoon.
Sure thing. Take care, Tony.